Hello everyone, it is Sunday, the 11th of May, 2025. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms out there. You get some people that say they're single dads, absolutely. And here's to another group that's very overlooked, the widowed fathers. It's tough on everybody, I understand it. I personally lost someone I loved that much, and I get it. I'm not going to say I know how you feel, but I get it. On that note, you see people you recognize, but they don't recognize you, which is awesome, because they don't know you have a YouTube channel, and you're just sitting in traffic waiting for this light. There we go. Thank goodness. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Today, we had some interesting events regarding tariffs and things of that sort. And I got a funny feeling we're going to get more stuff this week. But here's the thing. Yeah, we got some good moves. We got some things going on in crypto world. But a lot more needs to happen. We have to have ISO come online. That's just one. I know there are 4 things we have to get. ISO to come online. We have to get regulations. This is in no particular order, by the way. We have to, in any case, a lot of things have to come together. And I want to just get to the point on these things because my weekend reports run a little long. Okay. Gotta wait for these things to come together. Not everything is gonna come together until the tentative schedule of November of this year. So I'm just trying to make sure everyone stays patient and holds on, because quite frankly, we got a bit of time left. So take time to celebrate. If your mom's around, give her a call. Yeah, you got a grandma, you got an auntie. Yeah, I have an auntie who's very awesome on Facebook, and I made sure to send her a Facebook message. I did it with a couple of my aunts. But in any case, make sure to just take time and appreciate what's going on. Yeah, just mellow out. Now, I want to hit on a couple of things that I shared on X, and I also shared a couple of other things in the community. Let me go in a bit of a reverse order here. In the community, I just shared something from a new gentleman I just started to follow, Frank the Tank. That's pretty awesome, Frank. Yeah, he just did a wonderful video on investing opportunities with XRP. What's coming down the pipe, for staking, for lending, what's involved with becoming a liquidity provider, which I did on Ethereum, but I wish I never did. Yeah. Well, Ethereum, high fees. I lost so much with Ethereum. It was insane. Between the fees, the gas fees, and this and that, they nickel and dime you to death. That is a prime example of getting early if you want to make that money. So, and maybe I'll talk about this topic too if it doesn't go too long. But in any case, so go check that out. On X, I shared a couple of things regarding our ISO coins and one particular DAG coin. Now, there was something Elon posted up a while back, and as a little side note, Tyler of Chico Crypto has done wonderful research into the identity of Satoshi, and it's essentially either Sergey from Link or Elon Musk. And I don't want to take away, I think everyone should watch Tyler's videos. I don't even know if he's posting anymore. He got married, God bless him. He has a kid, God bless him. I wish him well and much success. Huge shout out to you, Tyler. You're an awesome dude. Now, what I really liked about Tyler's work is he came with receipts, as they say, as Maximus Crypto says. Now, there is a lot to the idea that Elon is Satoshi. Now, could he? Now, we know he's PayPal Mafia. I kind of like cringe saying the name Mafia, but with my background. The PayPal mob, I'll say. And he's integral to that. Now, there was that lady who was interviewed, I want to say she was Homeland Security, who said the 4 Satoshis. So, my hunch is the 4 Satoshis were Elon, his nearby neighbor Hal, the late Hal Finney, rest in peace Hal, even though he swore he's not Satoshi. Yeah, or let's say possibly Hal, excuse me, and rest in peace Hal, and Sergey, but also who's the 4th? I also shared something on X, another thread about how it is indeed possible Mr. Schwartz was on that team. Now, it might be a little bit of a stretch. I understand the pros and cons against it, but the idea that it was just one guy and one guy who knew British English and going to private school in the city, New York City, I learned English, proper English. Even though sometimes I get a little tired in the morning drives and I definitely sound like a Bronx boy, but the point is that there is, put it this way, I would say if somebody told me David Schwartz was on the team of Satoshis or was the lead support for Satoshi, I would have a tendency to believe it, because David is that good at what he does. Now, I would like to lead on to, let me dial it back to the tariffs here. We had the announcement with UK, and you got a lot of people cheering it in the UK, you got a lot of people hating on it in the UK. We're starting to see the developments of a new power structure, a new global power structure. And we're going to get a lot of surprises like that. I heard earlier today I had heard that expected announcement relatively soon, probably I would presume within the next day, of a deal with China. I read some of the supporting corroboration on that. And I'm like, interesting idea. So it seems that everything's getting worked out. And let's face it, ladies and gentlemen, this stuff needed to get worked out. It wasn't a good deal. And more importantly, it really wasn't a good deal for your average person. And that, to me, is what's tantamount. Because it's the average person that really moves the economy en masse. Now, there was, what was the other subject I wanted to touch on? Oh, yes. Just a little sidebar thought. Ripple had the choice to make XRP, what we now know as XRP, available to retail or just institutions. And for whatever reason, it was decided to avail the retail investor of it. Now, amongst the cabals of these deep state folks, and I'm acquainted with a few of them. I'm not saying I'm deep state, I'm not. And I'm not in any secret society. I'm not any of that stuff. But, sorry folks, I got these wacky people in front of me here. Alright, so, I would like to make the point that a lot of them truly believe that if you can prove yourself elevatable, then by all means you should be elevated into the class structure. Now, that's very egalitarian and not shared by all of them in that diverse group of individuals. Oh boy, he's really doing 20 when there's a green light. Ooh. Anyway, it's a Sunday. Okay, so there are people who, for whatever reason, circumstance, or will, elevate themselves. They learn the game. They advance themselves. And there are some people, like little old lady doing 20 in a 30, with all green lights and everything else in front of her. Nobody in her way does 20. But my whole thought process is this. I don't know if it was Jed, I don't know if it was David, but somebody, or Chris. Oh, it's a Sunday, ladies and gentlemen. But someone decided to allow us everyday folk to get in on Ripple. Now, I want to tie this back to Elon and his post, and then I'll try to end it there. But Elon posted this lithograph, this JPEG of outer space, and everyone thought it was related to Tesla, and maybe in an indirect way it is, but in the JPEG there were three, basically the way it was laid out. You had a constellation, a ripple in space during a stellar event. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we do know on this channel that those three things are our favorite cryptos. So I have been working on an update to that Secret 6 list that's part of the special sauce. And I had a hunch to put Constellation in, but then when I saw that pick, I was like, okay, you got Mr. PayPal Mob. I don't like saying PayPal Mafia. You got other factors contributing to this idea that Elon was sending out a message to people. Now, double meaning symbols are very big within the elite classes, we'll say, that are members of these secret societies and cabals. It's how they communicate with each other. And to your average person, it was a really cool pick. I saved it. It was a very cool pick. But I also had a motivation to save it because I could see secondary reasons. Anyway, yeah, I really got to move out of this area. It drives me batty. But point is that I am sharing with you my research from this weekend, and I'm giving you a little preview that I put Constellation on that list, and I think I've really tightened up that list. It's up to 8 now. Now I could have kept it 6 by dropping Constellation if I did like a low price, measurement and things like that. And that's great. But I plan on talking about it tomorrow. But also, let's say you're an older person, you're in XRP and QNT now. Those are going to pop. And let's say you got quite a few. An acquaintance of mine has multiple thousands of Link. For example, there could be somebody out there has somehow multiple thousands of QNT. And let's say QNT pops, you get a good pop out of it, and you decide to roll some of those profits into some coins like Zepec or Z-Beck or whatever that Beck is. Sorry, these people really are terrible Sunday drivers, ladies and gentlemen. But yeah, you could roll into another asset that will further compound your profits, because that's going to pop as well. So that's what I'm working on. I wanted to update everybody on it. I'm sorry for all the pauses and that this went a little long, but you know, driving in this town on Mother's Day, and it's already a Sunday, you can only imagine what it's like. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. Please make sure to like, share, subscribe. Of course, I gotta say that. Remember to stick it to the man and not to each other, and make sure to go through the community page. You'll find a lot of information, because here's the thing: if I find something good, I'm going to share it with everybody with full credit, and I don't mind if you do too, because if it solves a problem for us where a lot of us don't know how to do it, by all means. Now, I do believe I did the settings, so I have to authorize you as an authorized person to put a hyperlink up, but please let me know if you would need that. All right, in any case, I'm out. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.